Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how we built this £450 budget gaming PC that is more than capable enough of playing all esports titles as well as some more demanding games. And it will also be a great starter PC to get into streaming and content creation too. So without further ado, let's get on with the PC build. For our CPU, we went with the 5700X with 8 cores and a boost clock of 4.6 GHz out the box. This processor is ideal for gaming, streaming, and the additional cores will even help with editing software and things like content creation too. And for the RAM, we went with a 16GB kit of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 clocked at 3200 MHz. Now in future builds I will try and start using 32GB kits if I can get them for under £40, as I feel like that is kind of the sweet spot, and some people may look at these builds and go, oh, it looks great but it hasn't got enough RAM, and especially because this has only got 2 DIMM slots, they will then have to spend £40 or £50 to fully upgrade the RAM. We also used a Crucial P3 Plus for our drive because we got this for under £40. Now I am aware it's Gen 4 and the B450M is a PCIe Gen 3, but it's the only SSD I've got left, and honestly recently this SSD prices have been ridiculous. I can't even get them at this price anymore, so in the future I will just opt for whatever drives I can get for the cheapest, as long as they're reliable and have good reviews. And we are also using a Johnsbo CR1400 for the CPU cooler. This is only a 90mm fan and it's quite a small and budget cooler. I think in the future I'll just opt for one of the Thermalright ones, as they're probably only about £1 more in price and will offer much better cooling with normally larger heat sinks and a larger 120mm fan. And for the case, we're using the Pado YL or Pado YL. It's a micro ATX fish tank style case that I got from AliExpress a little while ago. I ordered 3 of these, one of them arrived smashed, but we actually paid £38.10 for each one. For the power supply, we're using the Corsair CX600 as well. And the case fans we're using are Tekka Prism. They are cheap AliExpress case fans, but they look pretty good and they only cost around £4 each, so honestly a really good price. And last but not least, the graphics card, which is an RTX 2070 8GB. Now this was part of a local PC deal that I got, but that's a whole nother video that's on my channel. But we paid about £140 for this 2070. So overall I think the build looks great, but obviously looks are just one part of it. How well will this PC actually perform in some games? So now we're going to go test it in about 5 games. As I mentioned in the community post yesterday, my benchmark SSD corrupted itself last night, so I spent all night reinstalling games, or as many as I could, which was only about 5. But either way, let's go and play some games on this PC. So the first game we tested was Fortnite, and we played on performance mode, all low settings, which is competitive settings, and overall it was a really enjoyable experience. We did have to play another game because the first game, the 1% low, was really bad, but that's really common with Fortnite and probably with a lot of games anyway when the shaders are being loaded. But in Fortnite we're seeing an average of around 250 FPS. Now it's quite strange really, because if you look back to a year ago we would have got way over 300 with less CPU, but it just goes to show that each game every year just does get a little bit more demanding. But overall Fortnite was an enjoyable experience. Now for GTA 5 we played at the very high preset. I think it was like a very high RT on, or RT set to high, But overall, we averaged around 124 FPS. It was very smooth. Our 1% lows were reasonably good. There wasn't a lot of stutters or anything like that. You can see that our GPU is really having to work its ass off. It's at about 100% utilization or near enough, and it is running at about 80C as well, which isn't an issue or anything, but you can see that it's just really having to push itself. And when I took my headset off, I realized how loud and how much of the fans were ramping up. But overall, GTA 5 Enhanced Edition was a breeze. This game will run on most systems now as well. Onto Marvel Rivals, we played at a high preset, and I believe they do force some sort of upscaling in this game. I think we had DLSS on, but either way, we were averaging around 77 to 80 FPS. Our GPU was being pretty much fully utilized in this game as well. Now, I don't play this game whatsoever. The only times I have is full of benchmarks, and I've honestly really just sucked it every time. But this time around we actually got some kills, so I guess that was a bonus. But for you people that want to know if this will run Marvel Rivals, which is a relatively new game and a very popular one at that, yes, this PC will run it fine. But obviously, it being a quite GPU demanding game, if you wanted to get higher frame rates, maybe more into the hundreds on these settings, then you would simply just need to get a better GPU. So on to Cyberpunk 2077, we played at a high preset and we actually did 2 runs. We done a high preset with no upscaling and one with DLSS transformer model, but it actually didn't make that much of a difference. I believe you have to go into the NVIDIA app and change a few settings for it to actually be the transformer model, because with DLSS enabled we've seen around 75 FPS on average, but with it just set to high with no upscaling we averaged around 65 FPS. I've never really played this game, but visually it looks really good, and honestly for a card of this age, I mean this card is probably nearly 7 years old now, it's honestly doing a pretty good job even without upscaling. And on to our last game, we played Counter-Strike 2 at high settings, and this was a breeze for this computer. This is one of them kind of easy to run esports titles, and we were getting way over 200 FPS, just running around killing bots. I've never really played this game. The only reason I play it is simply for the benchmarks. That's the only reason I've ever installed it, to be honest. But overall, yeah, we were getting over 200 FPS. I don't know how it is with the competitive side of CSGO. Maybe we'd get slightly less in a competitive game. Who knows? I don't actually intend to run around and be absolutely wiped by real players. So we just run around and kill some bots and even die to them as well. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of this PC. Honestly, I think it turned out great. The only downside I would say to this case is there's no proper routing for that 24-pin motherboard cable to go in. So I just had to kind of shove it underneath the fans. But other than that, the build looks great. And I will just put on screen the cost of the whole build. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you all soon.